You know, when I leave the sitting room, do people have a sitting room and a bedroom? Okay? When I leave the bedroom to go to the sitting room, I always look around for what I can take to the sitting room. And if you can take two, the better, okay? And vice versa. If you come to town, make sure you have taken everything you need to take to town. If you go to market, make sure you have a list so that you don't go to the market to buy biringanya and arrive home and remember you forgot the onions and then go back and remember you forgot matoke and go back. You understand? Plan your trips more efficiently. Sharpen your finance management skills. Learn to live within your means, borrow less. The most common activity of teachers in Uganda is salary loan. Isn't that true? Many teachers in Uganda have salary loans, and therefore they are working and not expecting a salary because it is going to the person who lent you the money. Now let me tell you a secret. The people who lend you money are not helping you. You are helping them by borrowing from them. It is they who benefit, not you. You understand? So don't give away your money. Use the money you have and live within your means. It can be done. Improve your parenting skills. Make sure that you are a better parent, and there are lessons for improving your parenting skills. Improving your team work and people skills at work. And there is something they call emotional intelligence. As you are going to interact with somebody, find out their emotions. If they are angry, behave differently with them than if they are happy. You understand? Emotional intelligence. Don't pick quarrels, because if you pick a quarrel, you may have a bleeding nose. Okay? Develop relationship with your creator. If you created yourself, please put up your hand. Somebody created you, so you should improve your relationship with your creator. Send a reminder. Develop a reminder for your appointments. And you can share this with your relatives or friends so that they can remind you, okay? Develop and share a to-do list. Sometimes you forget what you needed to do. If you do a to-do list and share it with somebody, somebody can remind you and ask you, have you remembered to do this? Develop a checklist for important applications and increase your chances of success. One of the number one causes of not being shortlisted is forgetting to attach your registration certificate, for example. Many teachers forget many things when they are putting in their applications. The other day, this application was so thin that I asked the teacher, but did you read the advert? And she said, no, I didn't read the advert. I said, then how did you apply? Somebody told me. Teachers, please do better than that. If you apply, make sure you attach everything that you need to attach, and somebody can help you not to forget. Okay? Other practical ways of maintaining resilience. Figure out what you believe. I'm not hoping for a day when everybody will be Anglican or Catholic or Muslim or Buddhist. I want everyone to figure out what they believe and then believe it, okay? Identify your values and live by them. It is said that if you don't stand for anything, you will fall. If you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. Have some values. Make sure you decide not to steal. I think corruption will never leave Uganda until and unless teachers decide to teach not corruption, to teach that not being corrupt is better. Because when you teach your children that you can survive without being corrupt, then corruption will disappear. Otherwise, as long as teachers, I don't think teachers are corrupt, but anyway, as long as they think corruption is all right, then it will stay. Many teachers are taken for a ride. Many teachers are given a lie that we at the Education Service Commission need to be paid. No, we don't need to be paid. And if you pay, we will find out. We have now developed an app that will make us know that you have paid. And if you pay, you will not be even interviewed. You'll be excluded from the competition for 10 years. So don't pay. The other day I was talking to government officials about improving your salary. And then somebody said, but Dr. Luboga, your teachers have a lot of money. They pay 3 million to be interviewed. You have a lot of money to pay to be interviewed, an interview which is free. So when you continue paying money to be interviewed, you will delay the day when your conditions and terms of service are improved. You understand? Don't pay. Find a spiritual mentor. Me, I'm a reverend. I was told that in mentorship, the mentee, the person to be mentored, is the one who hires and fires the mentor. You understand? If you can choose me as your mentor, and I'll be careful the way I handle that appointment, because it is you who can sack me if I'm not a good mentor. So find a spiritual mentor. Learn how to pray and meditate. Start your day with a spiritual reading. Go to church, temple, mosque, whatever it is that applies to you. And don't quit until the miracle happens. You will soon get rid of this stress. You just need to persevere and do the right thing. Talk about your feelings. If you are feeling sad, talk about it. Me, I'm married. I'm recently married. Congratulate me. Eh? I'm recently married. I only got married 49 years ago. And so when I feel sad, I pick my phone and call my wife. And I say, I'm unhappy. So she asks me, what are you unhappy about? And if the answer is I don't know, she says, then come back. Okay? When I lost my dad, I was so depressed that I decided never, unless I'm asleep, never to be alone. You understand? Even in the library in Makerere, I would sit in a place where somebody else could see me. Okay? So don't think you can manage it alone. Talk about it with somebody else if you feel troubled. The women are better at it. I remember when I was in Arusha, and I saw women with their tins, the tins they came to pick the coffee in, because they pick and get paid every day, a daily wage. They put them upside down, sat on it in a group and started talking before they started the daily work of picking coffee. And somebody said, yeah, women are better at it. The men, abasajja bafa ky'ofiisa. Men think they can manage on their own, you know. And men remind me of my grandchildren. so I touched his biceps. It was tiny, but he was still feeling he's powerful. Men feel so much power, even when they are pocketless, even when they have no money, they still want to impress that they have a lot of money. They put paper in their back pockets so that it sticks out like this. They want to impress women. The other day, I was talking to a young man. I say, I don't blame women who demand money from you if you impress them by how much money you have in order for them to love you. If they loved you for money, you had better not run out of money. Okay? When I got married, my dad had just been killed. I had just inherited the care of 16 brothers and sisters and 4.5 mothers, and I was a medical student. So I didn't have money. And it is in that situation then that I went to my girlfriend and said, "Would you marry me?" And when she said yes, I almost fell off the seat because I didn't know whether if I was her, I would have said yes. You understand? I am convinced my wife did not marry me because of money. And I wonder, how can any man survive and take the risk of being loved only for money? Huh? Keep regular exercises to boost your self-esteem, like Oksononta. Laugh as often as you can. In Proverbs 17:20, it says, a joyful heart is good medicine, but a crushed spirit dries up the bones. Okay? Eat well. I don't know what that means, but anyway, we can discuss it next time we have enough time. Drink sensibly. I look at that every day and I wonder whether it is possible to drink sensibly. How many of you think it is possible to drink sensibly? It is. Really? Let me tell you a secret. Girasi esooka omuntu yanywa omwenge. First glass, it is you drinking the alcohol. Girasi eyokubiri omwenge gwe gunywa omwenge. The alcohol you put in first is the one drawing new alcohol in. And glass eyokusatu omwenge gwe gunywa omuntu. After the third glass, it is not you making decisions anymore. I have seen people go to bars with 10,000 shillings and drink 1 million. Drink money they haven't even earned. Drink money in their pants. Drink money they hid from the alcohol. The alcohol will get it there. Besides, alcohol promises a lot and delivers less. I was told of this friend who went to a bar and found a beautiful girl. And so his strategy was to buy alcohol for this girl so that when it comes to taking her home, she would not resist. And he bought enough drink. The terrible thing is he too was drinking as she was drinking. When they got home, the lady went to the bathroom to prepare. I don't know to prepare for what. But anyway, you can guess what she went to the bathroom to prepare for. By the time she came home, she came back to the bedroom, the guy was asleep. And the guy was woken up by the young lady saying goodbye in the morning. So the alcohol, but it denied him the whatever he was looking for. I think we have said this before. Make the most of your support system. Most of your support system. 1, generate goodwill by making friends. Make new friends, make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver, but the other is gold. Make new friends. Okay? And you people are all young. But the advice to people like me, make sure that most of your new friends are younger than you. You understand? Because if you make friends older than you, they are going to leave you soon. You understand? And you know, next year we are celebrating 50 years in marriage. And we are having a big problem finding people to invite to our wedding anniversary. We don't want, the old people who are our ages, their marriages have hit bad rocks, okay? And they are not interested in what we are celebrating. You understand? So we are looking for younger people to invite to our wedding anniversary. You understand? Make new friends, but the younger the better, okay? In the support system called family, in Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 9, it says, be happy with the woman you love. God is impressed by how much you love your wife, but he's confused if you are not happy with her. You understand? And there are people who are so much in love, they can even strangle each other. Don't you know that I love you? No. The mark of love is happiness. Be happy with your wife. Participate in community activities. Value your fellowship members, the people you go together with in the church. There's in church in Namirembe, there's Sero ministry. Treasure your co-workers, your fellow teachers, those people you spend the longest time with. You spend more time awake with your fellow workers than with anybody else in the world. So make sure you are close to them. Nurture this relationship. They are invaluable. Notice who that man is?
Yes.
Yes. That is some of the things I do to keep my stress away. I have a small farm in Bulova, and I go there on Saturday, and I dig my miseries away. Okay? I have a Christmas New Year present for you, and it is called e-recruitment. E-recruitment. E-recruitment, the days of forgetting to attach registration certificate are gone, because we have innovated an e-recruitment system. All of you can go to our website and fill in, get your own space, and put in your profile, and your profile will be there waiting for when you want to make an application. Okay? And it will not proceed unless you have put all the required attachments. So it will remove stress out of job application, e-recruitment. Okay? We can tell you, give you the guidelines we follow in recruiting teachers into education service. We have prepared this presentation. We can give it online, and you can ask your questions and they will be answered. There's a question here which I was asked, and it was so well worded, I'm excited. What strategies does the ministry have to make teachers senior teachers? And I said, yes, the ministry, and the Education Service Commission is not the ministry. Didn't you know that? I think we need this talk. We need this discussion to distinguish what the ministry can do and what the Education Service Commission can do. Okay? Education Service Commission, omulimo gwayo mu Luganda is kusensula. Kusensula. You know what that means? To make sure that only qualified teachers are appointed. Only suitable people are promoted. Okay? But the job of declaring these positions is the business of the Ministry of Education. Okay? But I would like to give you some secret about being promoted. If you want to be promoted from a job you don't like, from a level you don't like, to a level you like, you understand? You must be very good, you must work very well, perform miracles at the level you don't like. In order that then you can be promoted to the level you like. Some people are so depressed at being teachers. They are not performing well as teachers, and they think they will be promoted to senior teacher. You get promoted to senior teacher if you're a very exceptional teacher. In fact, somebody was saying over the BBC recently that we should stop promoting teachers or basing on the number of years they have been in service. We should promote them on their quality of their contribution. Be exceptional teachers, and whether you like it or not, you will be promoted. You understand? Okay? Thank you very much. Goodbye, stress. And if there are any questions, I'll answer them. Few teachers are few, yes, but many are suffering, but the commission has failed or refused to employ them. The commission has not failed to employ private teachers. The commission has not refused to employ private teachers. The commission is pleading for more money to employ more teachers because the shortfall of teachers in the country, of positions in the country, is as high as 65,000 teachers. We need them, but in order to employ them, we need a wage to employ them, okay? So we are trying everything we can to convince government to put more money into education. in January, we are going on a countrywide validation exercise. We are going to visit every one of your schools to find out physically how many teachers are there and what positions are vacant. And when we have this data, it will help us to find out how to mop up all the available wage and therefore justify asking for more money. We are doing everything possible to employ the teachers because they are a resource we cannot afford to waste. Okay? Thank you very much.
As you have given us. Madam Annette, kindly come and say hello to this group. Annette is the HR, the Human Resource Manager, Cheshire Services Uganda.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
As Cheshire Services Uganda, we are really very happy to have you here, and we are proud that at least you're the group that still loves your profession. As Cheshire, we are now contented that we've got the best teachers who are going to be supporting our children, the team that is really ready to take on the children further, as we are hoping for the best. Because at the moment we don't know what is going to happen, but we believe by 10th, all the children will be back in school and we will be seeing you really working very hard. We appreciate your time. We appreciate everything that you've sacrificed to be with us here. It's not easy. It's the Christmas season, and this is the time to be with your relatives, but you've said, let's go to this workshop. We really appreciate, and we would like to say, please keep on your masks, keep safe. We still want to interact with you as the time goes by. Allow me to say you're all most welcome. Some of you could have missed the welcoming remarks, but still, it's never too late to say you're all most welcome, and we look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Yes, can we kind of try of a workshop? Ladies and gentlemen, I have two things to do right now. One is to pray for our food, and I'm looking for a volunteer who is going to do that. And two, when we send you to those desks, you have to go with a national ID called a coupon. So they are going to give you one that you have to present the other side. But before we do that, Jem, as you come, I want to invite the director to say thank you to the chairman for the advice he has given us. Madam Director.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you enjoyed yourselves? Have you had a good laugh? Have you had a good laugh? Are you going to buy those mirrors and laugh to yourself? Laugh with yourself. Laugh with yourself. My job is very simple. To once again, kindly put your hands together to give the chairman a big round of applause. I'm going to request the teacher from Makerere, from Wandegea Muslim School, to come and give us a clap from your school. Each and every school chairman has a different clap. Yes, the children clap differently. When I visit the schools, I just want to stay clapping because the claps are different. Could you come and give us your special clap, please? So that we give the chair and all the previous presenters a big round of applause before we go for lunch. Miss Hajat is going to do this for us.
Mine is so easy. You clap once, twice, thrice, and four. Okay? You clap once, right? Then the second time, 1, 2. Then the third time, 1, 2, 3. Then the last one, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, so
Yes, can we go? 1, 2, 3, go.
Thank you so much, Chairman. Thank you very much. We love you very much. We're proud of having you. And we are going to escort the Chairman as we prepare to have lunch. Okay? Thank you. We will be thanking the rest of our colleagues who have participated or taught us later. Correct? Okay. Thank you. Enjoy your lunch. Enjoy our lunch.
Thank you so much, Madam Director. People we are getting for food, but I want one person here. Mr. or Mrs. Akatuhwereza from Chisugu Preparatory School, or any other person from that school. Do we have someone from that school? Chisugu Preparatory? Just come right here. This gentleman wants to talk to you. No one? So we have 2 serving points behind. And our prayer for food is simple. You simply say, Bismillah. You enjoy. So I have said it, okay? No problem. When you pick, go to the serving point behind. Akatuhwereza or any other person, any other teacher from Chisugu Preparatory School. You're not there? Yes. It is a private school, so they are, with the private schools we mixed here and there. Akatuhwereza is absent with apology. Patrick, alinga ataliiwo. And the answer is no. No for us who are in the system, but yes to that one who has not joined the system. Why do I say this? Our colleagues who are in private sector and they have not joined the payroll, they can equally apply when the time comes. But you never know, the age limit may bring you out so that you can just progress with a diploma and then you continue. But majorly this policy is starting with the A-level students, those who have just completed the A-level and they want to proceed in nursery teaching, primary teaching or secondary teaching. They will have to go direct with their A-level to do teaching course. Now for us who are already with this, those of you who have not gone for diplomas, masters and whatever, the first thing is to step by step. You have to apply for a diploma. Spend 2 years, finish, then apply for your bachelor's. When you finish that, you even go further and do your master's. And the sky is the limit. So when you're already in the system, there is no way you can apply. Even those who started as grade 2, those who started at grade 2, 2 years. Grade 3, when grade 2 was phased out, they went to grade 3, 2 years. They even went to grade 5, finished 2 years. Now, grade 3 is being phased out. You have to go to grade 3 and grade 5. Now grade 3 being phased out, you have to upgrade to grade 5 and then bachelor's. So if yes, which university? We are saying now we go to UNIT. UNIT is the Uganda National Teaching Institute. It is now located at Shomoni and is going to handle, whereas our PTCs are going to handle the diploma courses. So, and then our NTCs will also handle the bachelors. There are 5 NTCs, have 23 core pieces. The other pieces have been, and when you talk of science teachers, you only refer to those in the second. It's true. Now the system is saying, now if they are talking about science, they are in secondary. But now, I want to give you courage, colleagues. But the National Teacher Policy removes the segregation issue. The National Teacher Policy considers a teacher with a bachelor's full stop, either in nursery or primary, all get one pay. So once you just hold your bachelor's and the pay will be the same. With the bachelor's will earn the same way. This one is in primary the same way.
that one in secondary, and the issues of science teacher and art teacher will cease. It will end with this policy. Hope I have answered you, and I beg to end there. God bless you.
From lunch, thank God for the appetite and giving us food you have on the plates. Thank you for presentation. Let me call Madam Eunice to give us.
People from Central Region, and I'm greeting them. That Eunice Mwewa KCCA as manager gender, youth and children. Be here to meet teachers from Kawempe Division. Do you have some teachers from St. Martin's Mulago? Can I see you? Wow. Okay. I studied from St. Martin's, the days of Uncle Bom, if you know that name. Doctor has covered almost everything. But because me and Madam Zaina, we are in charge of children, we have to come and interact with you. And I have the first question. Because of what? To find out what you're going through. One of the questions is, one, what came to your mind? And what? And student. St. Martin's I would demand responses on what happened to you, lockdown, and the effects on you and learners. And then I'll come to decide to know division. I'm seeing some people in a discussion. We are back to class. You know, I'm a doctor of it. I'm addressing it. I want some full attention. Have it. I want to know what the lockdown, what drove you to go and teach? Work, how drives you then before the lockdown? In here, when the lockdown was on the children, the learners, you. Thank you so much. Hey, can we get our drives to go and teach? Yes, Haji.
Thank you very much, Madam. I'm Bosa from Kwembe Muslim. Drives me to go and teach. First of all, teaching is my profession. Secondly, I do teaching because that's where I get my survival. Thank you very much.
Where they have to teach all the core subjects. Not so? Hey. Alright, teenager, I remember. Another person from this side? Sure. Where do you remain at the where do you always good thing? Let's have another thing.
In our team, then the love for children used to drive us to schools.
Obligation to teach and love for children. Wow. Teachers, what does that mean? That you're supposed to be proud? You're supposed to be interested? You're supposed to be happy and value yourself? But let's see what happened when COVID came. Any responses?
They're not getting you clear.
Yes, because today I had flu and I'm scared of spreading.
The responses.
Apologies, I've been opening up, but now today I feel I should just come. Am I forgiven? I'll open little so that you may know the face, but for now let me see when I'm covered. The flu was too much. I even took an overdose to ensure that somehow I get better. Pardon? You're not getting me. You want me to, is that better? You want me to remove? Ngenda kulaba. I have flu. That's why I was covering. Let me stand like here. Okay. You value your job. You're obliged. You have interest in what you're doing. And especially you love the what? The children. But what? Down. Any responses?
Thank you very much. The way I had the question is what came into your minds when you heard of the lockdown? The fear of seeing massive deaths. And in one of the joking statements that were around, that people kept telling each other, when all of us remain here, this school will be ours and I will be the boss. That followed the fear of the massive death. And then the other thing that came was that if there would not be those massive deaths, we would report back to school for work very soon. And up to now, there are some teachers since 2020.
2 years. How does that make you feel? And you thought you were going there soon.
Thank you very much. The question, what comes in your minds? What effects do you think may happen onto the learners or teachers? These learners, as they left the school, I thought when they go home, there will be domestic, especially to the learners with the stepmothers, guardians, friends, and so on. 2, bad peers, which these children may form in the communities where they are going to live. Talk of the boys who may join different groups. Like in Kawempe, there is a certain group called Castle Group, and so on. These learners may experience certain challenges. An example, girls to be seduced by certain men, hence getting pregnant.
Thank you
then
so
to the
much.
side of teachers, it became a chance for some of them to go and fully attend to their different activities. Then, 2, on the side of teachers, it became a financial challenge because it became hard for them to have something in their pocket. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I also want to know some of the feelings that came to you so that we bring it nearer to ourselves. Yeah, thank you so much. Any other response? Any other response? At least from a lady. Remember, you like your job. You're obliged. Any lady? Any other person? Nothing? Nothing. When you kept waiting, what went on in your mind? There's a hand there.
Thank you. My name is Olivia. It was not easy. It was very difficult. And indeed, there were so many fears. Many fears. How am I going to manage my big family? How am I going to feed them, to dress them? What about when they fall sick? Where am I going to get money? Is it enough to feed them and take care of other things? So it was not very easy. Just like my friend has said most of them. So I was almost there. And I could ask myself, what next? So it was not easy. But when they talked of opening the schools, it was like, wow, at least someone is going to get to breathe. At least there's something normal coming, but it was really abnormal. So there were so many fears.
Thank you so much. There was a lot of fear. And as you explained, I think it's just about anxiety. You're anxious. You don't know when the situation will end. You're scared. You're wondering. And maybe those same feelings are still running on in your mind. Not so. As a teacher, you're going to cross over. In the morning, someone was saying, don't ask where did we stop. That was your normal question. Not so. And now you're saying, if I don't ask that question, how am I going to begin my class? But like Doctor said, as you promote, as the negative part is promoted in your life, there will be an imbalance, and that imbalance might cause you some issues. What are some of those issues? When anxiety is too much, there's stress. What happens? You die all of a sudden. Oh my goodness, my teachers. All of a sudden there's domestic violence. We want to begin from an individual who is anxious. You know, before we came in, our session was supposed to be at 11, and we're here on time. We also belong to the Directorate of Gender, Community Services, and Production. And then, because there were men on table, where are the men? Where are the men? So the men thought the women should stay. They will present at any time. Please, when you, as usual, someone has said as what? Where is Mbaraka so that he may hear this statement? As usual. Even in my weakness, he kept me waiting. Where was I? So, when you're back to class, yeah, agenda issue cropped in. And so when it crops in, things just disappear. It is not GBV immediately. We want to look at this teacher who is anxious. She or he loves the what? The job. But she is anxious. What happens to her? And I want us to do it very fast so that we may move, we may go away. When you're anxious, what happens to you? Some response? You've never been anxious? Okay, when you're angry, what comes to your mind? What happens to you?
Some become aggressive.
Some become aggressive.
Yeah, and some get depression.
Some get depressed. Others, these people from Kawempe don't feel. Madam Director, I pray that one day you'll call some people or us and we support your teachers to feel. Because if people don't feel, you know what happens. Hey, you must be able to say, I'm feeling pain. I'm happy. Not so. But it's like here things are. Is it true? Or you're just saying, I won't say it in front of director. Some are aggressive. Yes?
Hello. Thank you, madam. Others can end up giving corporal punishment to children.
Others can give corporal punishment. But what is happening in your body? I want us to feel. What is happening? Before you beat, what is happening?
Me, I was annoyed, tired, stressed.
Annoyed at one point, stressed at another, stressed, you know. Is there someone who is trying to identify with her? Hey, and they are looking down. Those are normal feelings. And she wants to say something. If you don't express your feelings, then they'll bog you down.
Excuse me, madam. I also felt as me myself, since teaching was my daily job. By that time COVID came in, sincerely I felt like I'm left nowhere, so where should I begin from? And actually I was so depressed.
You're depressed.
Yes.
We don't know where we are now. I don't know whether we are normal now, but we are crossing over, and those same feelings could be still there. And if you're not in a proper state, indeed, like someone said, you will reach at school, these children will be asking A, B, C, D, and you will be still in that state of confusion, you'll be still stressed, and you'll begin to offer corporal punishment. I know that's what you want to tell us, because that's what we talk about. But even if you don't beat a child, and the child asks you something and you don't answer, or you just push away that child, the child has done what? Has noted it. So I don't know how you manage your stress. We shall try to get there. But already the doctor told you, gave you some examples. Maybe you can add on if you choose and think that is important. But as you report back to school, it is important that you care for yourself. Very important. Before we go there, when the word well-being comes to your mind, what does it mean to you? When you hear the word well-being, what comes to your mind? Just 2 responses and we continue. We don't have time. Yes, madam. Being healthy. Mm-hmm. Being happy. Any other hajat? Indeed, you have said it. So when you're stressed, when you're anxious, when you're disappointed, when you're asking many questions, are you in a state of health? Indeed, well-being is the way one feels and functions. Mentally, physically, and emotionally, at a personal and social level. Physical well-being affects emotional, mental, and vice versa. So you cannot say, I'm physically well, but emotionally you're being eaten away. You did not mention that even sometimes you get diabetes, sometimes you get high blood what? Hey, it goes to that level. And before you know it, you're dying slowly, and you cannot reach even your what? Retirement age. It is the experience of health, like you have said, happiness and prosperity. The other group said, when I have money, I'm well off. For you, you're different. It's a different group. Yeah, some people, when they have money in the pocket, but they also say money does not buy everything. I've heard of people say you have a huge bed, but you cannot sleep. What is happening? Your mental state is not what? Is not well. Doctor emphasized that caring for yourself is very important. And mentally especially. When you're mentally well, when you work on it, you'll be able to affect all the other parts. Therefore, because you're called to teach, because you have interest in teaching, because someone almost said it's my hobby. Not so. I think that's what he was about to say, and he looked at the director and said, when I say hobby, she would say, you mean I just go for hobby work? Yes, but yes, you like it. My mom liked teaching, and she teaches wherever she is, even in her old age. She may not be holding a chalk to teach, but I know once you get there that it will be like a hobby. You cannot stabilize once you've not met that someone to educate. And therefore, because that's what you're supposed to do, today we learned about creating a safe environment. You remember? It's important that you work on all those things that might affect the environment you're teaching from. And one of them is the state of your well-being. Very important. Because a safe learning space or environment helps learners develop effective ways to recognize, process, manage, and cope with their feelings. Remember the customers you're going to receive in January. They were explained here in the morning. I don't want to go back. Meaning whatever you're doing now, you should be strategizing and saying, how am I going to receive them safely and be able to take them through all those ways to ensure that they learn properly. As a teacher, to create this safe learning environment, you need to be able to recognize, process, and manage your own emotions. And that's why I was really mentioning that begin to recognize them. Begin to name those emotions. How do you feel? Are you happy? When you're happy, mention it. When you're disappointed, also talk about it. One of the groups said, you know, madam, our supervisors issues. And I said, you're right. But also, you can choose to feel what your supervisors are telling you, or you leave it to them. Because it's their issue first, and then you can choose that issue to be your issue. Hey, when you abuse me, that Eunice, you're stupid. It's just a what? A word. Am I stupid? So, yes, before we said, children have done this, someone has said, yes, you can be disappointed that someone has called you what? Stupid. But why? You can process it and leave it at that point. In this period, I met one of my in-laws. The mother is not well and somehow has a disorder, anxiety disorder, and I was trying to request her to take her to the hospital. I said, you know, Eunice, I can't take her to a mental hospital. I said, Doc, I can organize with the mental health specialist to take your mother, to look at your mother. And then she said, but you know, my mother, when she was younger, she was a teacher. She used to go through a lot. And she would do what? Brush those, she would hold those things. Now, at her age of 80-something, she wakes up and says, can you imagine? So-and-so did this has done this to me. Something that happened 40 years ago. She's only saying, someone has done that to her. Can you imagine? Recently she said, by the way, where is my mother? Her mother died about 60 years ago. Meaning it was a pain. She never named that pain.
She never processed it. She never went through the process of grieving. She's now beginning to re-experience. My teachers, experience those issues. If you're disappointed, name the disappointment. Go through it and leave it and move on. Doctors told you, jog that issue away. Okay? It's possible. Otherwise, you'll be like this beautiful lady. She was beautiful. I found when she was still stronger, but I was grieved that that's what she's going through. So there are tips to making a safe environment. Let learners participate in making their own rules. Hope you're doing it. Our time we used not to do it at St. Martin's. Actually, speaking vernacular would be given sack. I'm not reporting you, my teachers. But let those learners participate in making those rules. Let learners agree on the fair and positive disciplinary approaches. Be intentional in avoiding violence. Fight violence at all times. Even where people are just, children are playing, but boxing each other, bullying each other. As a teacher, be intentional. Remember, they have gone through a lot of violent episodes during the lockdown. Work on it and ensure that that does not happen. Role model social and emotional skills that support well-being. Identify stressors. What are those stressors around you? And be able to address them. Self-care and creating a learning environment is key to both you and the learner. Work on it and ensure that you fulfill it. And self-care, Professor has mentioned it, hasn't he? I don't want to repeat. Drawing a schedule, knowing what to do when, ensuring that you are able to focus on the school activities and home activities so that you're able to balance. Know that your well-being as well as that of learners affects the process of learning. Ensure there is a safe learning environment that supports trust and respect. We've seen some children that are jumping the boundaries. A student stands and abuses a teacher. Meaning the teacher has allowed this child to go in and break the boundaries. Some of the things I'll just run through. You'll get this presentation. Recognize that learners who grow up in violent environments tend to see violence as the only way. Desist from display of violence in your classroom or at school, as it creates a pattern of violence. And it happens, you know how it happens. Use and encourage the use of positive discipline in management of your classroom. Engage learners in developing classroom rules. I've already said that. Be mindful of the fact that some learners have experienced violence during the lockdown. And be mindful of the fact that not all learners act violently. Some may withdraw, some may keep quiet, and they are just there in class. Meaning they will not even process, they will not even learn. And at the end of the day, you'll have many failures. Which may not motivate you as a teacher. Please work on it. We should all know that violence is never accepted anywhere. And since we are in the 21st century, all teachers are encouraged to be creative, to critically think and collaborate. In communication, remember, there's not only you giving information, but you should be able to listen to your learners. Manage your stress. View rest as very important to you for productivity. Limit your time on checking your phone. One of the groups said, now we are in a .com era.
and we are using more phones. Now, when you tell us to limit, what do you mean? What I mean is, you've given a class an exercise, not so, and you are busy on WhatsApp. And when you are viewing your WhatsApp, somehow you see some bad what? News, like the number of COVID cases have gone up. By your director, the numbers have gone up. The recent. And when that happens, you go back. You remember how people felt when the lockdown was there. And then you're like, I'm going to die, and the rest of the people, and then so and so will remain, the two of them. You remember? And they will be the bosses of the school. Do you remember that person, what he told us? That was unique. And then anxiety sets in. Fear sets in. Your productivity goes down. Instead of receiving answers from children, you're now saying, how do I begin to write the will? God forbid. God help us. Limit the time you spend on the phone. Develop well-being skills like being positive. Doctor talked about it. Love yourself. Know that you're making it. Even that university education, you're getting it. As they talked and how, as you gave your feedback, I remembered my mother. Their time, they would choose the best students in the district to be the what? The teachers. Did you know that? Meaning, it's a very difficult policy. But the challenge with these policies, once the makers of policies sign off a policy, it has to be implemented. And once it is implemented, and you don't get to it, you don't jump onto the bandwagon, you may be left out. And when that time comes, it may be so painful. Do you know how you've waited for 2 years? And then when that time comes, you are again kicked out because of just a paper, which paper is not just paper, but you're getting wisdom, you're getting knowledge, you're getting new methods of teaching. Not so. Panange, let's not tire in seeking wisdom. And because you're teachers, you deserve to get the best. May God help you. As he explained someone from education, I saw some murmuring. And I knew these ones are saying, Tetuja kubikolayo, eh? May God help us. Help you to develop a positive mentality. Get that paper. You might be the best student in class, and you move from being a classroom, primary class teacher to a lecturer. I've seen those people. I also went to Makerere High School before it moved to where it is now. Makerere High School had a teacher called Mr. Anjagara. May his soul rest in eternal peace. He was a primary school teacher. He was picked from a certain primary school to head a secondary school. That is Makerere High School. From Makerere High School, he upgraded when he was at Makerere High School. He became a lecturer. You remember that? He also had a radio program. Do you know that man? He died a few years ago. We don't, and he was not a young person. And he had a unique history. But he fought through his history and became a national figure. So we are not just remaining here where we are. I'm not saying where we are is bad. It is good, but you can better and be best. Not so. So I thought we needed to develop that attitude. Some of you who thought that is not doable. Think resilient skills, they talked about them. Practice gratitude. Director here said, close your eyes and thank God that you're still alive. People died, not so. Hey, people died. Build meaningful social connections. Professor said, make those connections every day.
even here. If you feel I can be your friend, hey, let's share contact and we keep in touch. Meaningful connections. So please work on your stress levels and choose how you want to handle your life. Think about what you can let go for your self-care. Don't hold everything. The Bible, those who believe in the Bible, I know even Quran must be having something. Ecclesiastes chapter 7, 21 to 22 says, do not pay attention to every word people say to you, or you may hear your servant cursing you. Hey, I know when I said something like, it's your issue, it's the other person's issue. Some people said, you remember? But the Bible is instructing us not to listen to what? To everything. Can you imagine when your servant is cursing you? What happens? You're the one who pays her or him what? Money. But he's what? Cursing you. Mukama tuyambe. Create a routine. Doctor said he runs 10 kilometers and pays 1,000 per kilometer. Oh, 1,000 per kilometer. And that's what I had. So he already has a what? A routine. What is your routine as a teacher? Develop it and work on it. Avoid overuse of substance. Can you imagine teachers who teach us and then in the evening you find them almost falling down because they did that thing? How do they again stand in front of us to teach us? Avoid, for me even this overuse, I want to say avoid substance abuse. Avoid alcoholism. Avoid. There's a way it brings us down as teachers. At the end of the day, make a list of things that you have done that were good. The bad ones, let go. Limit the time you spend on issues that are stressing. How many numbers of COVID cases? Leave that one. Take time to talk to someone, how you feel. A doctor told you. It can be just a friend that you confide in and say, by the way, I'm beginning teaching, but this business of ensuring that children are in 2 classes and then the other class is getting tough. How are you managing? Share. They say as problems shared is halfway. Hey, talk about, especially the men, our brothers and fathers and uncles. Talk about these issues. Don't drink them away. They will not go away. Because you'll go and drink, but tomorrow they will be still in the class. Talk about these issues. Talk about them with a friend. And if you feel it is going beyond, seek psychological help. People are there who are able to counsel you. Thank you so much. I'll request my colleague, Madam Zaina, to take us to the part of children. And then you'll ask us any question at the end of the 2 of us. Thank you so much. God bless you. Wish you a good start as you begin school.
Good evening, teachers. How are we? Good. My name is Zaina Nakubulwa. Zaina who? Oba Nabulwachi, I don't know up to now. But I'm happy to be here before the teachers. And I thank God that I'm here. I want to start by mentioning that all of us here, even Madam Eunice that has been presenting, we have the strength because we went through your hands, isn't it? And myself, I was nurtured by a primary teacher, a mathematician. By what? A primary teacher. I work with KCCA. When I went up there, they turned. So let me come back this side. I work with KCCA, and I handle matters concerning children. Yeah, I handle matters concerning children in KCCA. I work with children, I work with families. The presentations that we've had since morning, a few things have been talked about, especially focusing on children. Okay? So I will note some of the issues that have not come out, or things that need emphasis. So I kindly request that you give me at least 20 to 25 minutes. Huh? Yes? Huh? Put up your hands if you are giving me a yes. Thank you. No, this one. I'm not going to use this presentation. Because of time, I'm using another version. So it's here. See, edited them. Okay. As they are sorting out the technology. Hello? Hello? That is good. We all know that COVID has impacted on each and every one, isn't it? All the sectors, isn't it? But it has impacted more on the education sectors. And within the education sector, we have the teachers, we have the the learners. Okay? All of us have been impacted, including me, who is married to a teacher. Don't ask me how things have been going on. That one, it will be another day and under the tree. I'll tell you. Okay? And I'll start from the fact that when we talk about children welfare, when we talk about children well-being, we cannot miss out talking about the child protection framework, the layers that are surrounding a child. Okay? That's how we will be able to understand how this monster COVID has impacted on the children. My focus is on the learners, okay? My focus is on the learners, your customers, okay? I wanted to take you through the rings of responsibility briefly, then we'll have tips on how the teachers will be able to manage the learners. Since morning, they've been taking us through, and actually you've been mentioning that you've gone through a lot as teachers, isn't it? But also the learners, they've gone through a lot. Teachers have been saying that they've been going through a lot of stress. But even the learners have gone through stress. Thank you. I'll start with that small picture, okay? Is it visible? The first circle represents the child, our learners, okay? Then, the second one represents the The family. Because me and you, we are aware that the family is the first line of response when it comes to matters concerning our learners, okay? But still, even the learners, they have a protection layer around themselves. The learners can protect each and what? Each other, isn't it? That's why in schools we have leadership among the learners. We have peer groups among the learners, meaning they can also protect themselves. Then beyond the child, we have the family. Whether nuclear, whether extended, they have a big role to play in protecting what? The learners. Then beyond the family, we have the community. We have the what? The community. Within the community, we have the local leaders, we have the opinion leaders, we have the schools, we have the churches, we have the mosques. Okay? Meaning, I'll just focus on the first three layers: the community, the family, and the child. And do you know what COVID has caused? All those rings have been at risk, okay? They've been at what? At risk. Some of them, if I can use the word dying, they did what? They died. Some of them never stayed chupa. Some of them went into intensive what? Care. And yet they have a responsibility of protecting the learners. If you look at those different rings of responsibility, each one reinforces the one, the other. If one ring is kind of shaky and is trying to break down, the other one comes to do what? To reinforce. For example, the family ring, where we have the parents, the relatives. If it's trying to break down the issues of domestic violence, the community, the local leaders, the opinion leaders, religious leaders, they come in to do what? To reinforce. But because of COVID, a lot has gone bad. Okay? I've already mentioned that the rings, they're at risk. Some have gone into total breakdown. And yet, each one depends on each other. Are we together? Yes? School closure and lockdowns disrupted ability to socialize and seek support from their friends. Remember the first ring of responsibility where we have the children. We've noted that even the children, they support each other. Some of the children find it easier to confine in their fellow what? In their fellow children. But we've taken how many years? 2 years. So, social interactions have not been going on, support from their friends, and then this impacts on their ability, and therefore, they are not coping well, okay? The learners have been affected due to disconnection from teachers and their what? And their peers. When Professor was saying, was it Professor? He said that the teachers are parents. They are the second what? Parents. Imagine before COVID, how many weeks of holidays? Are they 3? 3 weeks. Most of the time, our learners are with what? And teachers. And they do respect you a lot. And even parents, we do respect you a lot. Okay? Remember when Professor, he noted that some of the parents were saying, banange, abana tukozechi, bali badde baddayo ku masomero. And actually, it is true, because we've been witnessing parents in the communities saying that banange. We pray that the schools do what? Do open. And I request banange, I believe that all of us here, apart from those outside this room, we are prayerful people. Bahajat. Assalamu alaikum. Mukama mulungi. Ekiseera kyonna abo be bamanga abanzaala wa mu kito eyo gye batuzaala. We need kuyimirira ku mavivi, tufukamire ku mavivi, such that there is no any other disruption, such that we bring your learners back to school. I have 2 of your learners, and seriously, I want them to come back where? To school. Hey. Yes, seriously. There is more to schools than learning, isn't it? Behind every school is a safe what? Is a safe child. A learning child. You want a small okama? Mubaraka has started. I'm not going to accept your okama. This time round, I'm not going to accept. Okay? I'm not going to talk more about the impact of COVID, but just know that our learners have been impacted on negatively, just like you, the teachers. But allow me to emphasize one of the most common forms of violence that have been, that the children have gone through, your learners. Sexual violence has been on what? On the increase, okay? We've had cases where the violence has gone within the family setup. The relatives sexual abusing what? Your learners, including the fathers that are not here, that are what? Outside this room. Yes, so many, fathers that are not here have been remanded because of aggravated what? Defilement. Because if you're a person in authority and you do defile, then that is aggravated. And even the teachers that are not here, you tell them when you go back, in case of any defilement, that is aggravated because you're a person in authority. And 65% increase in cases. That is the report that we have. Between April last year to October, what now has happened beyond October to this year? A lot has gone. And actually the statistics that came out when it comes to regions, Buganda region, Twaliachi, and Mpanga, we are number 1. When it becomes to districts, Mukono district is number what? Number 1. Which is number 2? Wanji? Jinja is Busoga region, that is number 2 in terms of region. But when it comes to district, Wakiso is number 1. Number 2 is what? Kampala. Kachi? Kampala. Wakiso had slightly beyond 10,000. That for us, Kampala, 8,640. And some of our learners are among those that were abused sexually and got pregnant. That's what I want to emphasize when it comes to violence against children during this COVID. It is anticipated that when children return to school, they are going to struggle because of the effects they've been exposed to. Imagine some have been sexually abused, some have been neglected, some have been in child labor, doing all sorts of petty jobs, and some have been emotionally abused, some physically abused. But I want to assure you, we are bringing them what? Back to you. I don't want to scare you because I know teachers can what? Can manage. Can what? Can manage. I know teachers are very creative and they can think outside the box. But I want to assure you, for us, we are in the communities mobilizing the parents to bring back the what? The learners back to. But as teachers, we have to bear it at the back of our mind that our learners have gone through a lot and we need to support them. Okay? There are certain signs that can show that some indicators where you can determine that this child has a problem. Okay? What are some of those indicators? Don't look there. Madam Eunice always said that teachers don't copy. What are some of those signs that can, indicate to you that something is wrong? I'm not bringing the mic. I know the men here, you can talk like women, and the women here, you can talk like men. What are some of those indicators? Yes, sir. Isolation. Very good. Yes, sir. Aggressiveness. Omuchala gwenjagala. Hajat salamu alaikum. Which sign? What? unhappy. The child is not happy. This side, 3. Yes, mommy. Keeping quiet all that day. Crying. And worried. Wanji? Absenteeism. If we are aware about those signs, should we keep quiet and we look on? Should we say that in Should we? We need to do justice to the children. If we are able to identify some of those signs, some of those indicators, probably we need to dig deeper to understand what is wrong with this child. Okay? Yes. Okay. Now, management of learners' well-being, the psychosocial issues, it's not only to be done by teachers. Okay? It needs each and everyone. Who are our stakeholders when it comes to education in our schools? Wanji? School management, parents, the learners, the teachers, the non-teaching staff. So it will require everybody, because it's not going to be business as usual. We need to bring parents on board. And do you know that even parents need some kind of counseling? They also need some kind of counseling. Some of them lost their jobs. Some of them are struggling. Therefore, the issue of the learner's well-being, it requires all of us. Fenanga tuli muchintu. Okay? And however, this will largely depend on the preparedness and commitment of Of teachers. Because I grew up knowing that the teachers are there to give us hope, the learners. Am I lying? Wanje? Tebinaba kuchuka. Teachers were born, were trained to give hope to learners, to parents, to everyone. Okay? So, it needs us to get prepared, to get committed, to psychologically prepare ourselves. And I believe that when we go out of this room, already to think about what next, what do I need to do, how am I going to handle my learners, how am I going to handle, to relate with my fellow teachers, how are we moving forward? Kubanga twagambi, inshallah, come 10th January, we are going back to what? For us, we are mobilizing parents in communities because we are community workers, for parents to bring back the learners back to you. Tugenda kukola ki? Oba mwagala oba ki? So teachers can foster feelings of safety and security. Do you know that? And it has been mentioned already. Therefore, it requires you to promote a supportive learning environment such that the learners can start, opening up. They've gone through. Some of them have been able to report some of the abuses. Some have not done what? I want to report that to you because I work with the children and I've worked with them for the last 20 years. Some report, some have not what? Reported. So meaning that probably when they come back to the school environment, you could be somebody to trust. Now okolachi, now opening up. Okay? Provide opportunities for breaks, reconnecting with friends and peers. Remember, in the first cycle, learners support each other, and there has been a disconnection. Let me hope on day one, the stick won't be in the corner of the classroom, such that whoever enters looks at the stick and sits. I remember when Madam, the director, I think it was on the second day, you did mention that at least for the first 2 weeks, let it be a transitional, because we want them to have a safe transition. even you yourselves, you need a safe what? Transition back to classroom environment, okay? Probably you can start with the children sharing their experiences, the bad and the good. If they are not able to open up, can we be creative enough and they write stories? It will help us to pick out some of the issues for follow-up, okay? Because we wouldn't want them to report back and they drop out of school. Mubaraka, I'm about, don't worry. Actively listen to their concerns. I've already talked about that. And case conference, because cases that are beyond your control, that you cannot manage, okay? That you can't manage. You need to think in the new normal. Can we have a few teachers? Can we have the senior man and senior woman being active now to form a case conferencing maybe of 4 people? If they are hard to manage cases, can you conference about those cases? Can we reach out to our education officers? And can the education officers at the divisions work with the supervisors, work with other division staff to be able to manage the cases? Because we wouldn't want you to identify cases and you keep quiet. Because teachers, you are our allied workers, okay? Okay? I've not heard, okay? Yes, you are our allied. Linking learners for professional support. Not all of us are counselors. There are certain things that will be very hard to manage. Probably they need a professional counselor. Can we link them up? Can we do a scanning around our schools and identify some people that can help us? Maybe they come to different classes and they talk to our learners, such that it's about restoring hope. It's about creating positivity among the learners. That's how we'll be able, okay? About that, that's the conclusion. We know that COVID has impacted a lot on the learners as well as the teachers. But I've said your learners are very eager to return to school, but some are not what? Are not eager to return back to school. Of course, there are some reasons as a result of violence that has been impacted. Also note that they are worried, a lot of anxiety, uncertainties, and they've gone through a lot, and these are our learners that you are going to receive. Support them such that the journey, I thank you. Anything? I know normally after, but child go through the education officers at the divisions. They know how to social and social welfare officers, such that we can help our learners. Because even us, if we are not supportive, we want to come up and have best 2022.
Muli kuchi ngamulinga beboa mukoye emmere tutulidde eya ddabo wali eya Christmas wali erwaleero baddeo director ali wano ogamba afande nze nva wa director teri ajja kukwata ajja kuyagu otwala conference y'amaanyi nnyo director wa KCC abadde waliwo ayinza okulawaanya ku kiddo kale twetololemu kati stretch a bit emerekese are we good now? Okay, let's have a excited and honored to be. My name is Remy Malay, and I'm a consultant for Arts Fund. Mubalabi abo. Arts. Mubalabi bali. Baita Arts Fund. Founder of Adim Chuga Bach. She's an expert on mental health awareness. 2. Rwanda lero muli bakufunyo mulimu bya Christmas. Tulinayo expert yomala okuva New York naye lero sijja mubawa. Muyinza okutugubala ne balowooza Abannayuganda balina ssanyu. Nja mubawa enkya. Mulaba mutya. Sate mujja genda ku live y'enkya. Tuli live. Mumanye ebintu bino bikalimagezi byatereeza wano. You can watch the conference tomorrow live. Negati. Mwawuze kungala bali eyo abe Ukraine yonna gye batulabira bannaye twasiibula kofe basomesa bakawempe division tuli wano oshigedde so talk about an issue mental health. When someone says mental health, what comes to your mind? Wanikete mutya temwetya muli basomesa afenga twatwanuse emikono nga nawanuka emikono good wonderful banaye ka mike kali wako okubiri nja byekolera mbimale byonna. Thank you agenda tubuulira over there in purple there the lady in purple wonderful.
Being sober.
Choteba answer nfu abasomesa bange bebangamba mujja kulemesa abantu bange okuddamu.
Being free from brain disorders.
Okay. Mu Africa
It's good health.
Okay, wonderful. Kakati ebyo bye bituufu naye tulinayo ekifu kye tulowooza ng'omuntu agambye mental health ani akimanyi wante omuguwa eddalu kati ndi wano mbagamba mental health ndowooza mugayi onalowooza twagala kugenda butabika sibatwala butabika tewali zolo wano naye ekirwadde kyatufudde bazzolo nimbye ekirwadde kyafuuse problem. COVID-19 has strained us. When I talk about mental health, I'm talking about behavior well-being and emotional well-being of an individual. The behavior and the emotional well-being of an individual. Nze yatambulanga nsmiling ennaku zino ntambula neesooza abantu banyigira tebalina kye bankoze. Mulabye abantu abeekuba ennaku zino nga tewali mubitegedde. We are a global community of emotionally sick people, and it is reflected in our behavior. Sicho kati musomesa bino bikwatirako wa omuzadde omwana n'omusomesa asikari madamu wa siikibbe bemugenda okulaba bamaze emyaka egi nga waleti ndwadde. Mumanyi obulwadde bwa waleti? Leero njagala boogerako. Tugenda tereza tutunga tutya ebituli ebyakubiddwa mu waleti yaffe. Eyo point yemu mukatereka awo. Number 2, omwami abadde buli lunaku afuntula naddala abasomesa abakyala. Nimbi ennaku zino abaami batukuba omunnyo mugamba hani omunnyo nywa munywe. Eyo si ye mental health. Si kyo kwegamba omusajja tategeera munnyo gye gulaga ennaku zino. Naye nga amazima mwagufumbyemu akatogo ke yawoomeddwa jjo si kyo. Bantu bagenda okukuba bannaabwe empiza obwereere. The beauty that I have, buli kyendi leero, I was mentored, coached and trained by a teacher, like here. The other beauty is, abasomesa bange ne leero nkyabaagala ate bakyanjagala. Sisobola sanga musomesa wange ne simuyamba. Era ngenda lwakiri mu store ne nzijayo omuceere ne mpa family ya musomesa wange. Be baana be mulina okuleeta okukuza leero. Because you're investing in yourself for tomorrow. Naye bw'onaamukyappa oluyi lwa COVID. Mutegedde? I was in a bad mood and this kid keeps asking me ne mubba oluyi. Lwali Muntegedde. Report. Just one bad day, one bad season, but an eternal grudge. Headmaster jana kufa yaringa ku ssomero kubanga otugubadde. Buli lwakeera gasimanyi omukazi eno ennaku zina nfitina. Ontegedde nga ntunuulira bubi kumbe ennaku kanyuze wabweru w'ennyumba. Abalala baddeyo ne mu byalo kyovula tebazze ku conference eno ng'ate baakawempe division naye balina okuddayo mu byalo kubanga Land Road yagamba dda bye. Is that true? So we are really strained. I want to encourage you to understand how you might be in position to navigate this trying time using behavior and character. Okitegedde? Njagala tukozese enneeyisa yaffe nga the biggest tool gye tugenda okukoza, the biggest weapon to fight the situation. Enneeyisa, character. Wano mu Africa, mu Uganda, we have a tendency to think an extroverted person ayina empisa embi. And an introverted person, have you noticed what I'm saying? Mukaka, onakamaliddeyo. Mukakamo. Who told you? Ayinza okuba yabba enkozi okukyalo mwasirikira omwo. Mubitegedde? Kati extrovert ne mulyoka mumuli emiggo. Akaana ako koogera nnyo. Naye nze singa musomesa wange yankuba emiggo singa siri na wano. I'm a motivational speaker today and I make a lot of money around the world. Mbatuuza mudaga engagement musasula $5 mu United States nga sitemeza ate ne bazimpa per person. And I'm extroverted. Njogera nnyo. Mukogera ndyamu ssente. Muntegedde? So it's so behavior and character is not about whether you're extroverted or whether you're introverted. Okitegedde? Kati ng'omusomesa kino tulina osooka ne tukitegeera. Ate n'ekirala musomesa headmaster, headmistress eba musomesa muno. Don't fail to love on another one because she's extroverted. Mwana oyo naye alina kalaaca. And then you fail to love her. Naye alina stress. Mukalaaca Mukama ke yamuzaala nako. Kati gwe yandi mwagadde n'omusikayo. Ate omukoze eki? 2. I want us to take this opportunity to go on the internet kubanga kati sawa emmere batuulidde mujja kubeera wano nga byensomesa tebiyingira njagala tugende tukole revision ku internet tusome ekintu kye bayita temperament ngambye ki wonderful genda otekemu temperaments and study more than the little I'm going to give you in these 2 minutes. There are so many ways in which you can understand temperaments, and I'm going to use 4 ways to understand ourselves. Bwe weetegeera nange ojja kunsobozesa okutegeera. Otegeera otya? Nze saagala bantu bababa nga weetegedde kubanga tokyagala. Naye nze ndi mubami. Kati bwe nzija nkubamirako kubanga nange neetegeera ndi mubami. Bw'oba tondabudde sweetheart nja kukubamirako naawe onyiigire mukirabye. So that is why as we go through this difficult time we need to understand ourselves and to understand others and communicate. And the key through this season kwagalana. Era okumanya nga mbaagala nnyo navuddeyo ewange empigi nenzija wano tuteese ku bintu bino kosi kwagala kubanga kino ekyo kiyitamu kikulu. If we don't support each other and love on each other we will not be in position to move forward. So temperament number 1 is caloric. Caloric. Temperament number 2 naye ebintu bino lwaki sibiwandiikanga katonda nga njagadde banaye nikwe mpampahaaga just awesome bulijjo mbyogera nenneekuba engolo nenneeruma olulimi leero katonda njagadde mulabye. So caloric number 2, okay? Then temperament number 1 is sanguine. Sanguine. Number 3, melancholic. And then number 4, phlegmatic. Okitegedde? Ezo ze character Mukama mwe yatutabula akatole kano nakola akatogo kano nakola spice omanyi Mukama alunga bwatyo Katonda bwe yatulunga. Okitegedde? Kati nze olw'obudde munasoma nze yange I am ekisinga obunene ku nze sanguine. So 30% caloric. Kati sanguine ye muntu kamba kwatireko sanguine baba bajagujagu bachamuse life of the party mbamanya abantu bato yenze kagudde wa tugende tola bangambye wano waliwo training ne bagamba suno mukitegeera kati ba caloric bebo ba headmaster mbategedde abo bamanyi n'okutunula bwe bati ne mulowooza akunyiigidde naye nga bambi naye kikula kye talina ttima simpisambi yakuwa mutegeere ye caloric. Melancholic okitegedde bakola detail ne bamanya buli kimu. Kati ne phlegmatic kakati omuntu nga nze when I discovered my sanguine side tusuubiza ne twalabira ne batusuubiza but amazima ga Katonda mu ggulu nali mbitegeeza abantu nabasuubizanga okuva ku ntobo y'omutima gwange nga njagala bayamba bwe nsanga olwo njagala muyamba olwo bwe mumala n'oli ngenda olabanga neerabidde ne gwe nasoose. Abantu babatyo temubamanyi oba abali wano nganze nammwe mwemanyi naye kambawe eddagala nze nagamba we nakitegeera I'll never procrastinate. Bwe nkusuubiza nkwatirawo essimu n'enkuba halo nsuubizza nti nja kuyitako ku ssomero lyabwe nkuyite nga guest of honor onajja oba tojje baŋŋamba ye ng'ajja naye nga nkikoleddewo no procrastination. Ekyokubiri nsuubiza nga nkiwandiika wansi kimanyi naye luli nali sikimanyi ndaba abantu kweswante omwana oyo ayogera n'asuubizamu n'embeeyo n'alimbira namu nga naye sirimba bannaaye mubitegedde naye bwe neetegeera I'm doing very well and now people are like that girl is awesome bannaaye naye nga wemanye ambula aizulu bw'onaagenda nga teweemanyi byoto juka covid yakutomedde stress yakutomedde obitegedde fantastic ate kati bw'otunuulira characters ezimu abo ba phlegmatic abo ba melancholic abo be mugamba basirikira embeera nebatoya netula bweti ne balwala obulwadde babuyita depression okitegedde mu bukakkamu ne bakakkanira ddala ne basangwini abamu beetuga n'okwetuga suicide teri amukeberako kubanga ye akyamula buli omu ani anaamukyamula kumbe naye alina ebizibu. So go study the temperaments osobole okuyamba omwana omuzadde babadde bamuseera mukagenda okugula ebinyeebwa oba dodo katunkuma ennaku zino tusobola mukene olw'embeera kati ajjudde mukene n'ennugu y'okulya mukene kati ajja ku ssomero omulaba ku day wano kati mmole kubanga basomesa benanyo tutuma enso n'enseminti anaazimba block 5 obitegedde abasomesa abazadde babeepibirapibira dda naye nga tebalina bwe bagambako kati bagenda kujja golete bakiyita batya lisiti yammwe gye list omugambe enkambe embaze omugambe ne sementi alyoka akuba ekikone akugaye simanya mwagala tubba bawandiika ku sementi oba mu bitabo exercise books nazireesi olutalo nga lutandise mistress taliiwo tetumanyi agenda tusolvingira kizibu lutalo lwa sementi oli omwana amasobola okuwandiika ate sementi agenda kuwandiika ku sementi abeekalakaasa. But if you're ready, you are prepared, and you're compassionate enough to understand that the parent that is coming is overstrained. Mutu goba kudde wano olwokubanga sireese nange ndeeseyo kano nabo n'abazadde balandiroodi babasudde ebweru ninde okitegedde we are all strained. Abaana abo jja balekera nagundi n'abannyonnyola balimu embuto balebala bakozi bakyayagala kumanya makanika omugagga agambikako mugagga kati gwe abaana omusala bagufuna mu wiiki nga bamakanika kati gwe okke ku mugagga omugambeko muntegedde. So we're going to prepare ourselves, we are going to study, we are going to go back and we look into this. Mental health tumutadde tugende ku wallet musomesa mwawulirako kye bayita fourth industrial revolution. Fourth industrial revolution nedda Munnaye every time wabaawo okukulaakulana mu nsi yonna gye bayita industrial what? Revolution. Eyasooka yatandikirayo mu Europe ne baleeta spinning machines mubimanyi bimwe bitusomesa ne kakwatayo nga Africa tuli eri mu hunting and food gathering. Eyokubiri ne baleeta amasannyalaze nga Africa weyawi firewood and food gathering. Simanyi otulaba ne baleeta eyokusatu nga wooli nange wendi eya internet ne tugitya okumanyanga oba biri racist oba nkyogere bali abantu bali siboogedde babi eriffe abaddugavu basooka tutiisatiisa nti internet is pornography. Mwabiwulirako ebyo byabaseegu ate abasomesa simu mwagala discipline mwadduka mudda saidi zeeri muli ku internet abasinga mwagitya. But that is one of the biggest tools to make money. Kati eyokuna yineze era leero musomesa obuwedde omukisa okumanya what omuntu mu America kyamanyi n'omuntu mu Uganda kyamanyi ne China. Right now where China is, America is, naffe tuli e Uganda. Eyokuna baji yeno gye tuliko erimu ebintu bina. Blockchain. Blockchain is how we move value on the internet. Okay? Cryptocurrency. Ze sente empya oba oyagala toyagala nga bwe twava ku cowrie shells ne tudda ku kipapula. Abaliwo okwoga omuleme gagamba nze nkuwa embira yange mpaka kapapula kagenda kukola ki kati kanze okitegedde bikyuka oba twagala oba tetwa security behind the cryptocurrency baleme babba. But understand kubanga bw'otunula mobile money takola kati naye sente naye osobola zikwatako okitegedde naye osasuza momope mafuta buli kimu okitegedde sente nga bwe tuzimanyi zigenda tandika okyuka ontegedde. Ekyokusatu njagala kusembyayo internet bakiyita artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence fridge egenda kukubira supermarket yessimu fridge yo egambe supermarket ennyanya tusikazaamu 2 twetaaga yenda 10 fridge. Nze mbeera mu America byenjogera mbimanyi nabirabyeko. Waliyo akakazi bakayita Alexis okamanyi wakawulirako okagamba hello Alexis njagala luli olwa mwami Mayinja. Alexis ajja kukuba oluyimba mu Luganda olwa Mayinja akugambe Ronald Mayinja bamuzala abe Uganda eddu ng'akufundukirira ng'oyogedde bwogezi tolina batoni gy'okutte. Do you understand? So artificial intelligence is here. Esembayo ye internet of things. Internet y'ebintu, internet of things. Internet of things kaŋŋambe nze nina ka boutique nga kali Kampala Road naye nenkateeka ku internet. Sorry. Nenkateeka ku internet ng'osobola temulabe bantu balina nga talina ofisi talina biki naye ng'akoze sente nnyingi nnyo ng'atunda ku Instagram obugatto obugoye tembalabye okitegedde. Kati musomesa wano wennina ennaku. I want you to invest in yourself because you are the CEO of your career. Muntegedde mwagala nnyo gavumenti yetuyambe. Abamu ku mmwe mwazze wano kulaba Madam Director ng'ondowooza n'obwongo bukugamba bwe mukubako emmunye obwavu bugeze kubanga ye representative wa gavumenti ekisero kya ssente mu byebagamba nze byantuukako. Bwe nali omwana omuto bankuza baŋŋamba bagenda e Bulaaya bagaggawalirawo mubitegedde byebyo nze nali manyi ngenda kulinnya ennyonyi era nagirinnya ne ntuuka ku Heathrow airport ne nenda akasawo ka ssente kankube ku mutwe saalabayo ne guno ogujjwa siraba nkasawo ka ssente kunkuba ku mutwe. Tewali magiki. Bino bye tulowooza tulina magician mu Bayibuli babayita maanu, the manna theory. Nolowooza emmere egenda va mu ggulu ekugweko. Haleluya. Teri mmere egenda va mu ggulu bakuba ku mitwe. Madam Director mwetegereze wuuyaawo. Naye mwebale mulabako. Teri kasawo ka ssente kagenda bakuba ku mutwe kubanga mumulabye. Akasawo ka ssente kagenda okugwa ku mutwe when you deliberately work on yourself, invest in yourself, and work hard to harness who you are and improve who you are. Bameka balina Facebook? Wonderful. Okay, great. Instagram? Basatu. Great. Twitter? LinkedIn? Fantastic. Omu. Hallelujah. Kati njagala nga muzeeyo eka okwate erinnya lyo ng'eryange R-E-M-M-I-E olekawo akabanga M-A-L-E oliteeke mu Google. R-E-M-M-I-E eryokubiri bampita male M-A-L-E oteekemu n'eriryo. Abamu munsinyako ku myaka ontegedde ate mukoze ebbanga erisinga byenkoze, naye nze lwe nasooka oteeka erinnya lyange mu Google wavaayo embwa y'omuzungu. Wali nno n'omwenge ogwalina erinnya lyange Remy Sakonyak I think. Nengamba ya Rabbi mese buchibi byonna, everything had my name but myself. It was so scary and disappointing. Nga naye byenkoze bingi nnyo. Naye leero bw'ova mu ofiisi y'omuntu internationally n'omugamba nze Remy Male oba obulirayo eri ng'akugulinga nze nsinga okusomesa e Kampala, kale fine, erinnya lyo gwani? Oba obulirayo nga banoonyayo online fingerprint or your electronic identity nga pye omanyi kyekitegeeza ku generation eno oli mulimba, which is not true. We are just uninformed, ignorant and lazy. Muntegedde, go back as a teacher and work on your electronic identity. Byebyo byonna bagambye Twitter, Facebook biki si bya sitaani, temuliimu sitaani. Okay? Get your Facebook account, get your Twitter account, get your LinkedIn account, put your credentials over there, make yourself a good brand as a teacher. Oberenga mu Kawempe division unbeatable. Sicho? Bwe tumalaawo, get your curriculum ogifuule digital. Okay? Nze natandika okukola seminars globally because I have my digital curriculum. Bwe bamputa jangu oyogere wano sibijja mu mutwe bino byenjogera, nabisoma biri mu curriculum zange, mbimanyi off tip kubanga I trained and I've worked on it. Namwe mukikole, mweseemu amaanyi. Government ntera nnyo okubuuza abantu, simumanyi nze nange namunoonya nambula. Omumanyi government wamulabako oba government ye Mwami Museveni? Mwami Museveni erinnya lye litandisa government, erinnya government litandisa. Kati nze mbawaddeho mwaka alabanga government mundeetere mutwala ku kofi tunywe kacaayi, ayinza osanyuka majja mubulira bizibu byonna. Naye waba taliyo government yeggwe, maama tajja kuyamba, jajjawo oba anti oba omugagga w'okukyalo oba uncle, nobody is going to help you but yourself. So invest in yourself. Kati mukana akaseera kampite expert we Texas omukyala Diana yatukoledde package namba egenda otuyamba obwongo bwaffe okututegeka mugule amatu ekirungi oluzungu lwe luli ize streaming ye founder w'ekitongole kino ki Acts Fund ye abadde akola mu doctor musawo mental health expert bino ebintu abitegeera obutabo yabubawandiikidde yabumazeeyo Diana mwaniriza ajja ayogereko naffe leero muyinayo ekibuuzo nga Diana bw'ajja tuli bulungi tudde mutusituke session ya Diana si nnyangu olabye ekibuuzo katusooke tulabe ekibuuzo kiri abadde anyambako ku microphone mbuliza ku mukyalo oli
Hello? I'm able to go up and down to see my phone. I have to use it. What's it? Two fingers to go up and down. Don't click it, just go up and down. Okay. Why are they broadcasting you when you're already on the meeting? What's going on? They just took me off. They're showing me. Hello, can you hear me? Hello. Leave? No. Pause the audio. I did. Uh-oh. I think can they hear me? Technical team was working on something. Hello? Hello, Remy. This is Diana. I'm here. Unfortunately, I can't see anything. The live stream is off, but I'll go on anyway. I'll greet you all. Yes, go ahead. I can't see anybody. I can't see anything. Just so to let you know. Go ahead, Utani. Yeah, you hung up. Yes. Hello. Hello. Good afternoon to you all. Hello again. I'm just going to wave. I may be yelling because I can't hear you. But I want to say I'm so excited to see you all. Mwebale nnyo, mwebalire ddala okubeerawo in such big numbers. Again, those who haven't met me, my name is Diana Chibuka. I'm a Ugandan. born and raised. I'm the founder and the CEO of ACTS Fund. Please raise your hand up if you can hear me. Raise your hand up if you can hear me. Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, good. I want to say that I'm not going to talk much because it looks like we have technical issues, but I'm going to manage because I'm so excited. Ndi musanyufu nnyo okubeera wano olwaleero nammwe abasomesa mu nkola eno y'okutegeka okugulawo amasomero gaffe. Nze founder wa ACTS, CEO of ACTS, which is Action for Community Treatment Services. Tusibuka Kalangala, we started in 2014, and our mission is to help and work with people with mental illness. Our mission is to make sure that everybody understands mental health and mental well-being the same way we understand our physical mental health. I'm so glad you're here because I believe that being here, it means that we all believe we are in a crisis. We are in a COVID crisis. And because of the crisis we're in, that's why we all have gathered today. I want to thank our organizers, KCCA. I want to thank our Uganda Teachers Association. I want to thank our partners, the Women of Vara. Remy, thank you so much. I also want to thank our director on the ground, which is Salongo Enoka Kabuye, boots on the ground. Thank you so much. Let's give Mr. Kabuye a shout out for the work he's doing. I also know that we are here to face a common enemy that we're having. We have COVID-19 as our common enemy. The reason that you showed up today is because we believe we need to get together and fight a common enemy. The enemy that has caused lives. We've lost a lot of family members, our friends. COVID has messed up our routines. It has brought us a lot of our uncertainties in our lives. And because of this, I'm not going to repeat everything that has been said. I know that Chairman said so much about the problems we've all faced with COVID. And all the previous speakers have been following all and the problems we have faced and the challenges that we've faced. Now that we are here, I'm going to say that many of us have faced challenges. Everybody, each one of us has faced a challenge in a lifetime. The question to you is, how are you going to get up? How forward? And the answer is, the first thing we need to do here is to admit that we have a challenge. To be determined to fight back, to get the tools that we need, the equipment. What am I saying? If you're going to a garden today, what do you need to do the farming? Oja kwata enkumbi, oja kwata omuggo, kwata buli kimu kyonna kye weetaaga to equip yourselves to be able to face what you're going to do. The same way, I'm going to tell you that now we have to agree that mental health is real. The good news is there are ways we can fight to get ourselves on track, to treat our mental illnesses, to prevent and to bring recovery in our situations. I also want you to know that no matter how small, no matter what situation that you're in, there is something you can do to help. Because of this is a time as teachers, we are always being considered, and we are considered the most important figure in the back to school efforts. Now that we plan to open up schools, the reason you're here as teachers is because you are the most important in our schools, in our communities, in our lives. And we believe that if you are able to equip yourselves with the tools, with the knowledge, and you are able to educate yourselves in everything that we need to have, everything that we need to know, we will be able to be prepared coming January when we open up our schools. Created the Vine Toolbox. The Vine Toolbox has 3 tools in it. One of it is the book I wrote myself. I wrote the book about the effects of COVID on our mental health. Me, Diana, I worked with veterans in a veteran hospital for the last 16 years. I'm a psychiatric registered nurse. And before COVID, I had been working with people who are dealing with mental illness, substance abuse, working in ICUs here in the US. I didn't mention to you, but I tell you, even though I said I was a Ugandan and I was born and raised, I'm living in the US right now. And as my background as a psychiatric registered nurse, I've worked with veterans in hospitals who are victims of war. They're dealing with a lot of mental health issues. They're struggling with life. They're usually addicted on substance. And these are the people I've been around for the last 16 years. And because of my experience, I decided that I'll come home and I bring to you what I've learned. And also, I'm a healthcare frontline worker. For the last 2 years, I've worked with people who are dealing with COVID-19. Me, myself, in 2019, I suffered COVID-19 myself. I was in the hospital for 10 days. I was suffering from pneumonia. I tell you, when I was in the hospital, I was healing, and the doctors would tell me every day that I was getting better. Never did I know, even though my lungs were improving, my head was not okay. Basebo ne banyabo, njagala mbategeeze nti nesanga I woke up one day and I was crying for 2 days straight because I realized that what I was facing was life and death. I had no idea in my life that one day you can be living a meaningful life, living a life and living the American dream, but then the next day you're facing death. This situation caused me to think really hard. And as I woke up, I decided I needed to write a book to help people who are going through the same situation like me, to help those who are dealing with the situation I was dealing with. I noticed that mental health was the main thing that needed to be healed before the body could heal. So you as teachers, as we prepare to open up schools, I want to use the Van Toolbox that I created. I want to use the tools that have been used here in the US to bring them to you guys at home, to let you know that the USA have used the same tools to be able to get back in schools. I'm a parent, I'm a mother of 4, and I'm a wife. And I want to tell you through my experience with my own children, I've watched them struggle, going from online studies, going from part-time schooling, homeschooling, and then going back to school, opening up full-time. I've watched the struggle of hand. And I want to tell you, teachers, this is what we're facing right now to open up schools. It's not going to be easy for you. It's going to be a very big challenge. But I want to promise you, you're not alone. Schools here in the US have gone through it. Here in Texas, we went through it. We struggled. We crawled. We moved slowly. And now we are back open full time. So what am I saying to you? I want to tell you, I promise you, you are strong. You are brave. You are smart. And you're able. If you are determined enough, you'll be able to move our students, our learners back in school safely, because the schools are considered to be a safe zone. The parents are counting on you to keep their children safe. So what am I saying now? I'm saying that we must all be equipped. Please get yourself a Van Toolbox. Prepare yourself. Educate yourself. Take care of yourself, because only a full cup can serve others. If you don't fill your own cup and take care of yourself, then you'll not be able to take care of others. So I'm saying to you, I'm so excited to be here with you. I'm so happy for this opportunity to be able to speak to you and connect with you. I want to tell you that at ACTS, we are going to have a 2-day seminar for you teachers.
As you have heard, the reason why I wanted you to hear or who experiences the best word. Bakiyiseemu kyemukoze eki kyemugenda oyitamu. Abagambye kisoboka. Abagambye mujja kisobola. Yabawandiikidde obutabo 3 bubaawo mu busobola obukozesa. Madam Director, nze abasomesa sigenda baguza butabo. Tujja kuyiiya. Government simanyi gyali. Naye nze naawe ffe government. Tujja kunoonya engeri. Naye ng'obutabo obwo abantu bwabayambye mu America. Bano jangu babulire ku training ze mukola counselor balina ba counselor ono ye director wa wano ku ttaka abasuubiza buli kimu katikati ate mukuba ekifaananyi babikole.
Basebo ne banyabo balamusiza oba nkozesa Luganda oba Luzungu kuba nange ndi weka wempe.
Mama isituko obuuze question. Nze
no one will make you happy. For me, I laugh a lot. I'm a happy person. Even when I've been crying a bit, I start laughing. Love yourself so much. When you love yourself so much, you will love other people. Am I right? Eat well and you love me in return. Eat well. Exercise. One of my friends sent me a link. The Ministry of Education and Sports wants to make sure that there is physical education in the secondary schools as well. So exercise, pray, believe, peer teaching for the children. Am I right? Special needs education, care for yourself, leave no one behind, teamwork, make new friends. Be the best that can be. Who is the government? Who is the government? If you find government, out. But you are the government. Ladies and gentlemen, you're going to stand, but after I have read this, we are going to thank Cheshire Services Uganda. We are going to thank the Chairman Education Service Commission, Acts Fund, the Directorate of Public Health, the Directorate of Gender, the Ministry of Education and Sports, and most importantly, the school, Nakasero Primary School. Can you stand up and you join me in giving them a standing ovation? Together, come, we are going to have one with our colleagues from Lagos School for the Deaf. They are going to show us how to clap in a special way while we are standing. Ladies and gentlemen, I know it's drizzling, it's raining. I wish you a very safe journey. Thank you so much for coming. Personally, I'm very happy to see all of you. And I will find you in the schools, inshallah, isn't it? Enjoy the rest of your holiday because it's about to end. And make sure that you prepare for the children well. One more clap for all the presenters of today. And my last clap to my special people. Eid Mubarak, Jamie, Robert Kaichi, a job very well done. I'm proud of you. So travel safe. I like the way Remy said it. Tubadene director. Tubade tutegekera amasomero. And they will not disturb you, okay? Kale. Now, my last comment, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to clean up after ourselves. Each one of you, take as many bottles as you can, empties. We are going to put them in one corner up there. We are leaving this place cleaner than we found it. Let's clean up after ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
you.